Hi, Michael Buffer here, and you are watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at the Box Park in Wembley. Delighted to be joined by Liverpool's very own Miss Natasha Jonas. Natasha, good afternoon, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to have a fellow Reds fan on Lights Out. Do you know what? Red or blue, anyone's welcome on Lights Out. But no, first of all, thank you for taking your time out to join us. It's been a really, really exciting week for you. I mean, it was last week, it was revealed you'd signed with Sky Sports and Boxer. And obviously last night we heard the unfortunate news about Caroline Dubois pulling out due to being under the weather, but you step in, so excitement, very busy times for you, but how are you feeling going in towards tomorrow night?
I'm feeling good. I said I wanted to be out as soon as possible, and it was looking like it was going to have to be next year with a clash of schedules, but unfortunately one person's misery has led to my happiness, and I got the call that I could be on. And I want to take these opportunities when I get them.
5 months ago you was in, I believe it's 5, 6, 7 months ago you was involved in an absolute barnfest with Katie Taylor. For me, it's probably one of the fights of the year. You're now with a new promotion. You're going to have to work your way back up into world title contention, but as better than anyone what you're capable of. Just how far away would you say you're from a world title? What have you got to do to get back into that contention, especially just signing with Sky Sports and Boxer?
If I'm deadly honest, I believe I've already won one. I was maybe a little bit unfortunate not to get the other, but I believe I'm world title level. I believe that's what I am. I think an active Natasha is a dangerous one, and all I've ever wanted to be is active and get that world title. Then I can make my decision from there, but until I get that title, it's a pursuit that I'm not willing to give up.
Just talk to me about the reason in signing with Sky Sports and Boxer. What is it that tempted you to come along to this platform?
I think the opportunities were exactly the same. I won a world title, that's been promised. The boxing side was no different than any other offer that I got, but I had the added bonus as well as having a secure job for during and after the boxing's finished. So, boxing is my main job as it stands, and that, like I said, there was no difference in what I was offered, and obviously now, in fact, it was a better offer, to be honest. And now you've got the added bonus of being part of the punditry team as well.
And in terms of obviously the next 6 to 12 months, what is sort of the plan for you? I mean, how many fights are you looking to have? I mean, we know you've got one on Saturday night, but then obviously we're a few weeks away from ending the year. What's the plan for 2022? I'm pretty sure it's going to be a huge and exciting year for yourself. I
plan on it being a title challenge as soon as possible. So whether that means early next year getting a mandatory position, and then obviously fighting for the title after that. But I do plan getting the ball rolling. I'm not here to wait around. I just want to be active and get out as quick as I can, as often as I can, and win them titles, like I said.
Unfortunately, in this business, politics plays a huge part. People will call for the immediate rematch between yourself and Katie, and now people will say, well, Natasha's over with Sky Sports and Boxer, Katie's still with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, The Zone. Does that fight become slightly a bit more that rematch, does it become a bit more difficult to make, or do you see it as it shouldn't be an issue due to both being with different promotions?
No, I think we've showed in the past that promoters can work together. Boxer and Matchroom and Sky and Matchroom have worked together for Joshua, for example. So it isn't impossible. It does make it a little bit harder. But when it comes to two different platforms wanting the same fight, you just go and bid for it, and whoever bids the highest gets the fight, and that's the way it works. So it does make it a little bit more difficult, because I'm sure it's something that both platforms would want a fight that they'd both want, but it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible.
This is such an exciting time for women's boxing. Not only have you signed with Sky Sports and Boxer, Clarissa Shields signed a deal as well during this week. Everyone's got their fingers crossed for that big clash with her and Savannah Marshall. 2 questions. 1, why do you think that fight's not happened yet? 2, who are you backing if that fight does happen?
I think that shows how committed Sky and Boxer are to female boxing. I think reasons possibly it hasn't. Well, I think Clarissa's been quite vocal that the reason it hasn't happened before is because she doesn't believe she was being offered what she feels she's worth. So money was a big part to play in that. And now she obviously has been signed something that she believes she's worth. So, it's a great fight. I think there's possibly only one other fight in women's boxing that's bigger than that. But it's a great fight. It's great that it's going to be on here. It's great that both of them are boxing on this platform and getting, paid for what they believe they're worth, which is more important. Who do I think wins the fight? For me, I just think in her last few performances, Savannah's shown the confidence that she needs to have to be able to beat Clarissa. I don't think we've always known how good Sav is. I don't think she ever believed it now with Peter. I do think she knows, she understands how good the talent she is, and I think when someone like that believes in themselves, they're dangerous.
Right, we're going to do something a bit different with you. I'm going to move you away from boxing. We're going to talk about football. You're a Liverpool fan just like myself. Kind of happy we've had a bit of an international break due to the last few results in the Premier League. Draw at home to Brighton, throwing away a 2-goal lead, then obviously the defeat to West Ham. Are you slightly worried?
No, I think with the Premier League, it's such a difficult league. It's one of arguably the hardest league in the world. I think, you lose one. It's like in boxing. If you lose your O, keeping that O seems so important, and like everyone wants to keep it and protect it and cherish it, and then once it's gone, you're like, okay, but I can still win. I can still go back and carry on winning, and that's the same with the league. One loss doesn't mean that you're going to lose the league. It just means that you have to work a little bit harder to get yourself back into contention, and that's no different to boxing.
A friend of mine said that this current side is like the Jurgen Klopp of the first few years, going forward tremendously, but defensively there seems to be a few shaky sort of problems. We've conceded 3 against West Ham, 2 against Brighton. We've thrown away a few leads as well this season. But are you confident as the season goes on, Liverpool will challenge for the title? And can you see Liverpool winning the title this season?
I can see them winning it every season. But yeah, it's just the defence. We have our moments, and unfortunately, because of how the standard of the league, if you have them lapses, you get punished. That's just the way it is. So, there's probably a signing or two that people would like to see. But I'm quite confident in the team. I think we've got a great team. We've never struggled to score, and we've always had great strikers, and that's continued. So, if we're unfortunate enough to let 2 in, we now have the confidence that we can get the 3 back. Do you know what I mean? So,
in a few years' time, and I hate saying this, Jurgen Klopp's contract runs out. I speak to many Liverpool fans on social media, and they say whatever Jurgen Klopp says around Liverpool is considered as gospel. He's that loved in the city. People call him the German Scouser, to say he's just like a Liverpudlian, except he was born in Germany. Can you see him signing an extension? And if he doesn't, who would you like to see take over from Jurgen Klopp, because he's done such a tremendous job?
God, I don't know who I'd like. He'd be hard to replace. He's a great manager. He's great with the people. He's great with the fans, and I think that's what Liverpool fans appreciate. It's not just about the football. You've got to be a part of the fans, because the fans are the club. So, and he's great. He's great at doing that, and everything that he does, and we do take him on as our own. He's an adopted German Scouser. But yeah, I'd hate to see him leave, especially if it was on bad terms. But I don't know who I'd like to see him replaced by. Someone who's going to...
Stevie G?
I think that job, I mean, he's been great for us. We've had some amazing memories with him. But is he ready for that role, that type of role, and that pressure? I don't believe, not yet. But, years down the line, yeah, would you, of course.
Natasha, before I let you go, 2022 is going to be a big year for boxing. I want you to name me 3 fights you'd like to see, but you can't put yourself in any one of them. So there could be women's, there could be men's, there could be UFC, there could be any form of combat sport. What 3 fights, if you were a promoter, what 3 fights would you make for 2022?
I would love to see, first of all, Clarissa, Savannah, Serrano and Katie, and Canelo and Bitterbeer.
What about Klopp versus Rafa?
I wouldn't know who to choose. I like them both.
Natasha, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck for Saturday night, and hopefully we look forward to catching up with you after the fight.
Cheers, thank you.